A typical day starts with me getting ready to go to school. I've been taking classes towards a degree for quite some time. After the school day is over, I usually come home and spend time with my husband and my dog. My relationship with my dog is endlessly therapeutic. I feel like I don't have to filter anything. I can just talk about whatever I need, and I don't feel like my dog is going to judge me or give me a hard time or give me lip. I also get a lot out of journaling, arts and crafts, going for walks. I work, and I'm also involved in the peer support community. The thing I get the most out of this is being a part of and bearing witness to other people on their recovery journey, and seeing us all strive and reach our goals. I grew up in the mountains of northern New Hampshire, and that area, at the time in the 70s and 80s, had no understanding of deafness as a culture. They saw this as a pathology, as a physical disability, and this affected me because I wasn't able to communicate with my classmates. And there was no cultural aspect to my deafness. There was nothing to support me in my development as a person, as a deaf woman. When I was placed in a mainstream classroom, that's actually when my mom started to understand about deaf culture, and that's what helped me understand more about deaf culture as well. I was born with a thyroid disorder, and one of the side effects of this disorder is depression. In my early years, the depression was pretty subtle. But then as I got into my late teens, I noticed the symptoms became much more severe. I recognized that my depression was hindering me when I was 21, and that's when my best friend Karen passed away. My father died when I was 12, actually, but I didn't have a strong sense of what that meant at the time. And so when Karen died is when my depression really took hold of me, and I recognized that I was in fact depressed. I started experiencing hallucinations as well. This was in my early 20s. I think my emotional state started to decline when my best friend Karen died. You, my oldest, dearest friend, will always be with me. And I'll never forget that terrible night when you were taken from this earth. Your body ruptured in that car accident. And I came to visit you in the hospital, and they wouldn't let me see you. We were each other's number one. We went to separate colleges, but we were in touch regularly. When she was gone out of my life, I felt like I had no support. I felt hopeless. And I felt like I don't want to be on this earth without her. And I started thinking about taking my own life. I thought this is the only way that I can be with Karen again, is if I die. And I don't care. I don't see the value in life. I was hopeless. And I'm still here without you. Nothing has changed. I'm still alone. But what I wish is to be able to reach for you deep into my heart, and that would make you come back to me. My recovery took a turn for the worse at this point. I felt really lonely. I felt like I had no support without Karen in my life, and I just started to break down without her. I think that this is ultimately when my life started to come back together. I was still thinking about taking my own life, and I felt terrible about myself. I didn't feel connected to the life I was living. I didn't feel overwhelmingly connected to my family. But in the end, I decided that I needed to go ahead and stick with my academic career, because nobody else in my family had ever graduated with a college diploma. I realized I would be the first, so that became my motivation. While I was in school, I bumped into a friend I hadn't seen for a long time, and she said to me, "Lori, what's wrong with you? You don't seem like yourself." I denied it, but she supported me and helped me recognize that I, in fact, needed help, and I needed therapy. A few years later, I got married, and my husband was also a huge source of support. And honestly, if not for that friend that I bumped into and my husband, I don't know that I would still be on this earth today. One of my strengths is being able to support myself in my recovery. I do a lot of reading and writing on depression. I make a lot of crafts, and I go for walks, and I take my dog out on walks. I have conversations with my dog. I know what skills I need to help myself move forward when I'm in a really hard place. And I don't want to just hide the experiences that I've had, even though a lot of them are dark times. I want to share them with others in hopes that it'll help them on their recovery journey. With all the hardships I faced, and feeling ashamed and feeling lonely, I have had friends who encourage me to get involved with the community, and it's helped me change and become more assertive and more confident. I feel like a different person. I certainly feel like my life has improved. And the message I'd like to share with people is that even if you feel lonely and you're grieving and you feel like you're isolated and have nobody to support you, you have to toss that mentality. There are resources available. Without the support that I have, I wouldn't be here today. I am so grateful for the support that I have, and I know that you have it too. You just have to look for it. You have to look inside of yourself and recognize that we all have supports in our lives. And I know you can do it. I have been through it myself, and I know you can too.